So we have got 4 fights on the main card before we get to our last two of the evening. And everything starts off with the middleweights, right? We have got Zachary Reese against Michel Pereira. Okay, so I never quite know how to pronounce this, but Demoldia, right? 32, 6'1", 73-inch reach. All right, he's got a pro record of 31, 14, and 2 no contests. All right, he is 9-5 in the UFC, and unfortunately, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. So there could be a lot to play for here. You know what I mean? Like a win, I would say, is necessary to stay within the promotion. Last time out, we saw him in August last year. Carl Dukas made his return to the promotion, and he made it in spectacular style, right? Finishing Pereira within the first minute of the first round. It was like, yo, you know? Now, before that, right, he'd lost to Abus Magomedov. That was April last year. And Anthony Hernandez, right, in October 2024. And for that, Hernandez, he, you know what I mean? He was winning that fight easy. And then all he needed was just to finish it. And he got that in the 5th round. Right? And that was after Pierre had put together a nice win streak. Oh man, it was like, what, 3, 6, 7, 8. An 8-fight win streak he was on before the Hernandez fight. You know what I mean? Like, woo! Good wins. Beat Michel Olajaychek, Santiago Ponce. It was a split. I mean, like, Ponzi probably won it, but, you know, it was fight of the night, right? Beat Nico Price, Chaos Williams, you know, some good wins. But, yeah, it's very, like, when he's on, Pereira can be very good, but then he can, do some odd things, right? Which will cost him, which happened in the Dukas fight, right? Sometimes I feel his focus just isn't there. Now, he's stepping in with Zach Reese, who's 31, 6'4", 77-inch reach. So, Reese has got the reach advantage. I think he's slightly taller, 3 inches taller as well. Far less fights, right? His pro record is 10-2 and 1 no contest. So a lot less, right? Reese, though, is on a 2-fight win streak. He is 4-2 in the UFC with 1 no contest. He came via the Contender Series. You know, he, when did he get that? He got that contract in 2023, August. He beat Eli Aronov with an armbar in the first round. So, it was impressive. Like, he lost his debut to Cody Brundage. That was when he got slammed. He was looking good. Kept a hold of, I think it was an armbar, just way too long. Like, as soon as you start to rise in the air, let go. You know what I mean? And then he got slammed on his head. But came back with wins over Julian Marquez, Jose Medina. He lost to Azamat Bekhiov, but then beat Duskas Todorovic. Was a no contest with Sadiq Dumas. I think that was over an eye poke, if I remember correctly. Then he beat Jason McAvee with a rear naked. So I've got performance of the night. That was November last year. Right? I think, you know, Reese is definitely soaring. Right? His confidence is sky high. And although Pierre, he's got a lot to play for. You know what I mean? So he should come out. He should come out focused. We know that isn't always the case with him. So I'm putting my monies on Zachary Reese to come and get the win. So we drop down to the welterweights next. We have Jacobe Smith against Josiah Harrell. This was a late notice situation, right? The muscle hamster, Josiah Harrell, stepped in. I forgot who got injured. Someone got injured. So Harrell is 5'7", 67-inch reach. He's got an 11-0 pro record. He's on a 17-fight win streak. And this will be his UFC debut. Yes. We have got, a couple of debuts on the card. This is our second. And, he last January for the LFA, got a win in the third round. Opponent couldn't make it. Corner stopped the fight, right? So he's won belts outside of the UFC. Got a couple of those, Now, I do believe... So he was going to make his debut a while back, right? In July 2023. But in the medicals, they found... I think it was like a tumor in his brain. Something like that, right? So he had to go get surgery and boom, boom, boom. So, yeah, he's been out since that time, right? His last fight was in the LFA before that in June 2023. So it was going to be a short notice spin, his debut. But yeah, he's been out recuperating until March last year, where he came back in style, second round stoppage. Then he got a first round stop against Melvin Gillard, right? The young assassin, I think, Gillard, right? And then he beat Keegan Gennerich in August. He put together 3 very last year. So he's back. He's back, and he will be making his debut. Now, there's a bit of a mix, right? He's got some subs. Rear naked choke does seem to be his favoured. But then it's just, TKO stoppages. All of that jazz. Now, he is going in there with Jacobe Smith, who's 30, 5'10", 72-inch. So slightly older, slightly taller. Got a 5-inch reach advantage. Smith does. He's also 11-0 and on an 11-8 win streak. So they're I think Smith had the amateur background of Harrell, but he came to UFC via the Contender Series, and he's currently 2-0, right? So he got the contract October 2024, second round stoppage of Christian Savoy. He then made his debut against Preston Parsons in January 2025, first round knockout. And he got Nico Price with a second round rear naked choke. All right, so when we look at his record outside the promotion, yeah, it's kind of similar to Harrell. You know what I mean? He's got good number of stoppages, ground and pound type of thing. Yeah, I think the Nico Price Rear Naked was his first. But having those two fights in the UFC, fighting two veterans as well, two people with experience in the promotion, that's a big thing, right? He's used to the lights. He's used to all of that experience, the media, everything like that. This is Harrell's first time. And you can imagine with Harrell, right? He nearly made it. Medical issues stopped him. So now there's a whole heap of other emotions that must be, you know what I mean, just washing over him. And that can be overwhelming. You know what I mean? Definitely can. I think this will be a very interesting fight. They have very similar records. But I am taking Smith because of the promotional experience, right? And just being able to fight that slightly upper echelon of fighter. Right, so we then jump all the way up. We game with the heavyweights, people. We have Serghei Spivac against Ante Delija. Right, walking trouble. Ante Delija. He's 35, 6'3", 78-inch reach. Trains with Tommy Aspinall. Right, and I guess Modestus Bukauskas, because I think he trains with Aspinall as well. Right, he's got a pro record of 26-7. He's coming off a loss in his last fight, right? So yeah, he's 1-1 in the UFC. All right, he lost to Waldo Cortez Acosta. Got stopped in the first round. It was great. Like, he looked so good against Marcin Tybura. Man, like, his chin was up a little bit, but man, he looked good, right? And even before that fight, right, bro, who has fought for the UFC. So you're thinking, man, he's got all of his experience, right? He's fought for PFL, he's fought for Risen. You know what I mean? He's been all over the place. So he's got that experience, KSW. Right? And you're thinking, okay, but yeah, it was very, very sloppy in that last fight, which was just kind of crazy, and did make you wonder a little bit about him. Right? He's going up against a polar bear, right? Spivac. Serghei, he's 31, 6'3", 78 in reach. So, yeah, they've got the same reach. They're the same height, right? And Spivac is just 4 years younger. His overall record is 17-6. He is also coming off losses, right? He's coming off 2. He is 8-6 in the UFC. Last time out, we saw him also losing to Waldo Cortez Acosta. He went to a decision, right? It was just inactivity in that one. Inactivity. That was June last year. He lost to Jailton Almeida in the first round in January last year. Was, ground and pound got him. He also has a win over Marcin Tybura. Like, when you look at Spivac, he's fought, the top shotters, right? Derek Lewis, Cyril Gane, Tybura, Almeida. When Almeida was actually doing stuff in fights. You know what I mean? He beat Augusto Saki, Greg Hardy. Has got a loss to Aspinall. Beat Alexei Olejnik, Jared Valderrama, Carlos Felipe. You know, he's got those wins. He's he's been in the UFC for a while, right? So again, it's just having that different caliber of opponent, right? Although Delija has, large promotions outside of the UFC, so it's an interesting fight. It should be close. I think after last time, and his chin is still so high, I'm gonna take Spivac for the win. It's heavyweight, so it could go. You know what I mean? Like a sneeze could end this shit, right? But I'm taking Spivac for the win. And our featured bout of the night, right? We are with the featherweights. We have Dan Ige against Melquizael Costa. So this is a fight, fun fight. The Dalmatian, Melquizael Costa. He's 29, 71-inch reach. Pro record 25-7. He's on a 5-fight win streak, and he's been looking good. He's 6-2 in the UFC. So last time out, he beat Morgan Serghei with a head kick in the first. Woo! Boy, that was December last year. He beat Julian Erosa before that, went to a decision, got fight of the night, right? Christian Rodriguez got that win in March last year. Andre Fili caught him with a gilly, right? Charlene Nurenbecker with a rear naked in the third. So very, very good wins. Lost to Steve Garcia, but who hasn't at this point? You know what I mean? Who hasn't, right? Made his debut against Thiago Moyes. Got caught with a rear naked in the second, but since then, he's been looking good. He has been looking good. And yeah, he does like a submission, but that head kick, whoo, boy. Now, he's going up against 50k Dan Ige, 34, 5'7", 17-inch reach as well. He's got a pro record of 19-10, coming off a loss in his last fight. Right, so Ige is 11-9 in the UFC. Came via the Contender Series, which I completely had forgotten. So yeah, he won that contract in. Where he won the contract? The 17th. July 2017. Right, got Luis Gomez with a rear naked in the third round. Made his debut January 2018. Lost a decision to Julian Erosa, but then put together a nice little streak. Right? Beat Mike Santiago, Jordan Griffin, Danny Henry, Kevin Aguilera. Right? Mirsad Bekik and Edson Barboza. Those last two were wars. Oh, they were wars. Came up short to Calvin Kattar, but then he beat Gavin Tucker. Stun gun caught him. Josh Emmett, both decisions though, and a decision with Movsar Evelev. But Evelev did kind of control that fight. Have good wins over Damon Jackson and Nate Landwehr. Right? Had that very good fight with Bryce Mitchell. And then the Diego Lopez fight. He will be ever in, down in history for that fight, because that was just some craziness. You know what I mean? The way that shit came together. Right? He lost to Lerone Murphy, but got a very good win over Sean Woodson, which, hey, I'd picked Woodson in that one. I did. He did look very lackluster against Patricio Pitbull. That was the one thing, right? Where I'm like, has he started to lose a step? Because that fight, it just was not a good fight for him, Not a good fight for him. So I wonder, right? Dan Ige is a very good fighter, And I think he is that dude that will stay within the top 15. He's that good. But I'm taking Costa for the win. He's young. He's hungry. You know what I mean? And we just see him improve with every single fight. So I'm taking Melquizael Costa for the win. This bomb. What a great featured fight. Taking us into the co-main event, people.